Hello there and welcome to the latest edition of Red Army TV with me, the debutant, Marc Yafano, whilst Dave's away on a little project. Got two fantastic guests over on the sofa. I've got Darren Murrell.
Yeah.
Didn't get that right before, did I? And John Putson, two fantastic Butter supporters, 27 years and 30 years, fellas, isn't it?
Yeah.
Welcome. Couple of things we've got to speak about. Two games from the week. Let's go back to Tuesday night's game. Sheffield United away. Slow start. Not the right result. Darren, what's your assessment of that?
It's like, at the minute, it's like 1 week watching Baywatch. You know, you're against Notts Forest, you got Bamford and Traore playing well, and then it's like watching Britain's dumbest criminals on a Tuesday night. Like, you know, it's just there's no consistency, is there? And it's just so frustrating, which I can understand at the minute. But
well, I mean, the old cliche is a game of two halves, but certainly that game was a game of two halves, John, wasn't it? I mean, even with 11 men in the first half, I don't think we put the best display out.
I think it summed up the campaign, really. It was a reckless 20 minutes with Ledbetter setting the tone for the game. And again, a mountain to climb second half, which throw caution to the wind, give it a go, and you know, for once they played well under circumstances.
It seems a trend which is sort of forming where we start really slow, don't we? I mean, we're going to talk about Forest a little bit later. But is it a Pulis thing? Do you think we start a bit slow? Do you think we start a bit nervous?
I don't know. At the end of the day, they've come out and scored a worldie straight away. A couple of minutes in, what can you do about that? You can't prepare for a finish like that. That's Sheffield United's first goal. So, did we start slow, or did we just get hit with a wonder goal, which puts us straight on our back foot? We do start slow to games, but I think every other team around us will probably be having the same whinge when they're losing matches. We don't start quick enough, so we're just an inconsistent team. That's it. And it's,
yeah, well, I mean, we're bouncing, aren't we, from good results, and then we sort of, it deflates us a little bit. But we're going to have a listen to some fans, which a lot of them from the Sheffield United we couldn't show. Otherwise, our bleeping machine would be out of order. However, this is what the fans had to say from Sheffield United.
Well, why can't we just play it after 90 minutes? Crack in second half when it's all too late, down to 10 men. So just go for it from the outset rather than sitting back, waiting for them to score and us to have to fight back all the time.
Just not good enough, mate. Not good enough in the slightest. The first half was not good enough in the slightest, and the second half we tried a little bit more, but they were a better football team by far.
They weren't better than us. They were not an ounce better than us.
Really?
They scored a great goal.
Two great goals.
The second goal was just sloppy.
Two great goals.
The first goal was sloppy, and then
Yeah, but we didn't score another sloppy goal, or did we?
well,
Because they were better than us.
we did score a sloppy goal.
Yeah, one.
They weren't better than us. They scraped. They had 10 men and they scraped that.
They were a better footballing team than us.
They weren't. No, they weren't.
Well, that's what the fans had to say. And like I say, there was a lot we couldn't show. But the big thing, John, sending off. Grant, we're going to miss him, I think, for one game, second bookable offence. So I don't think it's just the one. Is he going to be a big miss?
I personally don't think he will be a big miss at all, judging what I've seen this season. But the game last night, when it needed him to be, you know, stood up as a captain there, lead by example, was anything but. And so early in the game like that cost us. Well, he knows he'll regret that, and I think he'll be out for the rest of the season. I don't think he'll get his way back into the team.
Mm-hmm. So, I mean, it was a changing. Well, it wasn't a changing point because I like every other Borough fan, didn't think that we started off the game really well with 11 men, never mind 10 men. But the second half, I mean, with the changes we made, Darren, you know, it was bold, wasn't it? You know,
with the three changes at half time.
Yeah, I mean, we've never seen Tony do that before.
No.
Did he need to do it, or was it just thinking we're 2-0 down, we're going to have to do it?
I think maybe he lost his head, to be honest. We had to make changes. You throw caution to the wind. Down to 10 men, you're making three changes at half time. if you pick up a knock, then you really are in trouble. But look. At the end of the day, there was no take 3 people off because no one in the first half deserved to be on the pitch. So if you want to make 3 changes, yeah, we come out second half and we, by what I seen, we were superb. So we're 10 men, so it was the right change. It could have went wrong, but it didn't. We played really well.
Well, I mean, at times in the second half, we looked like the team with 11 men and they looked like teams with 10 men. I just wish we could do that all the time. But hey-oh. Have we though, fellas? Have we handed the incentive to the teams around us now? I mean, we had one foot in the playoffs, didn't we? We've been trying to get that other foot in.
Confidence is key.
Have we handed it in, John?
Well, no, I just think the team's at the right time of the season. We've seen it previous seasons where they just got ahead of steam and they're going this mental unbeaten run. Millwall, 17 games. These teams just peak at the right time, where we've never peaked any particular stage in the season. We've just maybe gone on a 5 or 6 match unbeaten run, and that's it, back to a couple of defeats. And Millwall at the right time, and it will be down to the last game of the season for me.
Another goal for Ayala. Like I say, we're going to go on and speak about the Forest game probably after the break. But again, another defender popping up with another goal. Now, I think we spoke a couple of weeks ago with some guests when I was on that sofa. And we were talking about when Tony Pulis had came in, he'd give people jobs and he'd asked Ayala to chip in with a few goals. I think he's done more than his fair share than what he's been asked for. Is he the poacher's goal we scored, you know, is it you know, up there with the best of them?
He's got an eye for goal, even under Karanka. You know, he was always there. And I think, honestly, when we went up the Premiership, I know we had Chambers and Gibson at the back, but we missed Ayala's presence in the box because he always scores goals. So him at centre-half for the Borough, you will get goals out of Daniel Ayala. It doesn't surprise me he finishes the ball well.
Yeah.
So, OK then, I mean, let's change it up a key. Let's take it up a notch. I mean, we've got rid of the bad result. Last Saturday, Forest, the return of Aitor Karanka, a lot spoken about. A couple of things I want to speak about, fellas. Again, the Ayala goal, that was a little bit better, wasn't it?
Lovely finish.
Took it very well, because he's a big fella and he can put himself about. So he shielded it well and he scooped it into the top corner. It was a very tidy finish.
I mean, I don't know about you fellas. I mean, I didn't think that we actually pressed them. I mean, we didn't go out all for it. We put 2 balls into the box and we seemed to score from them. Downing another goal with his right foot. The big point for me is, and I'll come to you with this, Darren, Ayala and Downing, both probably on the not wanted list under Karanka. Do you think they had a point to prove?
Oh, without a doubt. Yeah, without a doubt. But for me this season, Stewie hasn't just stepped up for this one game against Karanka. For me, I was a big doubter at Downing when he come back, the way he was performing under Karanka. We don't know what's going on in the background, but for me this season, Stewie Downing is getting stick and he doesn't deserve it because I've seen him, not just goals, but he's grafted for the Borough this season. So it was good to see him get one back over Karanka, and he definitely wanted it, and I'm glad he got it.
Well, I totally agree, and obviously the reception Karanka got. Let's have a look at the press conferences. Let's have a look what Aitor and Tony Pulis had to say. Here's the press conferences from the game.
No, I was pleased first half. I thought we played really well. You know, the movement of the ball and, you know, the positions that we got into and, you know, the opportunities and the chances. You know, the disappointing thing was that half-time came because it stopped the momentum, and that sometimes happens. And second half, you know, it's 2-0. They've got nothing to fear, nothing to worry about. You know, they looked a lot more relaxed on the ball. But we still had opportunities and chances second half, and most probably the best opportunities and the best chances.
A lot of good memories. And again, for me, I didn't have any doubt that we love each other, because when I came here, I felt a really hungry club, and when I left the club in the Premier League. Everybody enjoying the Premier League, and I'm not pleased, but especially for the people who said that I had problems with the players, problems with the crowd, problems with the board. The first person who sent me a message yesterday when I was coming here was the chairman, reception today, even with all the players. So it's just to show everybody that how much we love each other. But now I'm at Forest and I'm trying to do the same, because this club has a lot of history, and I would like to repeat the same thing that I did here in the following years at Forest.
Well, that's what the gaffers had to say. Join me in the second half. I'll see you then. Welcome back to Red Army TV. Back with the guys on the sofa, Darren, Murrell. Got that right again, Darren, haven't I? And John Putson. Guys, I just want to speak quickly about Ben Gibson. Seen a quote on the MFC website where Ben said, we've shown there's in the second half, and obviously we're speaking about the Sheffield United game again, we've shown the second half that's how we need to start football matches. We've come out in the second half with 10 men and shown unbelievable desire and commitment. We now need to start games. Now, obviously, it's interesting that came out now. As a professional footballer, I think we know how to, with the desire, we want to win games. What are we reading into that, Darren?
Well, it's not even just a Tony Pulis problem. It's a Gary Monk, or Karanka problem. So he's been in the team for a long time. So we've never started games quickly. We've always started on the back foot. I can't remember any games where we've actually started and just went, you know what, we're going to press and go for it.
I think the Leeds game.
Yeah, well, but over 3 seasons, so we've only just learnt now, so it's a bit of a weird statement, that.
Bit cliched, isn't it?
Yeah.
So we've heard what the guys have thought. Let's hear about our social media in our Twitter land. Let's hear it with Matt.
Red Army Social Media, sponsored by Person-to-Person Marketing.
Right, let's see what you guys have been saying on social media this week. Starting off with Ian Smith. He's put, no denying Grant is a player on the decline, form wavering, influence waning, but does anyone else feel uncomfortable at the level of stick coming his way? It appears some have forgotten the contribution he's made to the Borough cause over the years. Andrew, you've put, if you honestly assess the Borough squad and how many you'd happily keep for the Championship next season, it doesn't leave many players for me. Josh Catterson, you said, I think it's more likely we won't win again this season for us making the playoffs. We can't beat a half-decent team, so probably won't win in the next 3, and a tricky away game last game of the season. Another overhaul is needed this summer. And finally, Richard Simpson, you've put, the Championship fixtures couldn't have been picked better given the teams pushing for the playoffs. I still think we'll just miss out, but be interesting to see who has the bottle. Keep your social media comments coming into us here at Borough Red Army. Back to you in the studio.
Red Army Social Media, sponsored by Person-to-Person Marketing.
Thanks, Matt, and that's what the guys had to say on the old Twittery thing. Bit there, John, you mentioned it in the first half about Grant Ledbetter. You'll give us your opinion. Obviously, a guy on social media spoke about Grant. Do you think his future's a bit bleak at the Borough at the minute?
I think the season where he's at, I think it's been a very hit and miss season with Grant, and I think with Clayton, a similar player in a similar role could be, I think, would quite possibly be maybe next season's captain, Clayton. I do think Ledbetter's sort of had a shelf life at the club now. I think it's maybe time to go to Sunderland.
Well,
I get them into the Conference League.
Darren, it's quite obvious that Clayton, the way Pulis speaks about Clayton, that he's his type of player.
Yeah.
I think it's a bit obvious that he's going to be with us
next season.
This time next season. Do you agree with John? Do you think he's a
Yeah.
potential captain?
Yeah,
over
definitely.
Ben Gibson, for instance?
No, not captain, but he's got one role he can play for me. If you put Clayton anywhere other than the holding role, he can't do it. So Ledbetter's playing in the holding role, pop him in there. I think he will do a better job than Ledbetter moving forward. He's got more legs. Yeah, he is a crab, but that's his job, and I think he'll do it well.
You can't have both in the team, for me.
No.
For this team to move forward, to progress, even for next season, you can't have them two in the same team.
Well, I think you know, Downing and Ledbetter round about the same age.
Yeah.
At the minute, Downing, for me, in my opinion, still giving us a lot. You know, Grant's not a bad player, but you know,
he's on the decline.
You might be right. He could be on the decline.
Yeah.
We've got Ben Gibson. We spoke about Ben Gibson. Ben Gibson's just hit a milestone, which hasn't been in the press, you know, a lot. 100 Riverside appearances, nearly catching Gareth Southgate. Darren, does it seem like he's
No, I know. I was shocked
Riverside?
when you told us. I'm shocked that you've. Do you know what? I think we should be lucky as well, because we got relegated last season, and the guy he could have went. He really could have, and he stuck by the club, and we're lucky to have a captain like that at the club. So do you know what? I'm glad he's got his 100 appearances for the Borough.
Will that England call come?
No, I think that ship sailed at the moment. Obviously, with it being in the Championship, but I think you never know what next season could bring. Could be in the Prem, and he could be back to where he was last year. He was in the limelight with some commanding performances.
You say that ship's sold. Obviously, Southgate, the England gaffer, obviously ties with the club. Is it because, Darren, it's the Championship, or is it because maybe Ben hasn't had the season he had like he did last year?
I don't think he's good enough anyway at the minute. So regardless of the Championship or he's in the Premiership at the minute, I don't think he's good enough. And I think for him to play for England, he would have to play for a bigger club than the Borough. Unfortunately, that's my point of view on that one.
Looking forward, some big games coming up.
Yeah,
it's going to be an exciting run-in, isn't it? I mean, next game, home game, Bristol City at home. I've got some shocking stats in front of me. You know what? I don't even want to read them. I think it says something around about last time the Borough beat Bristol City was at Ayresome Park 20 odd years ago. A lot of draws usually between us and Bristol City. How do you see it going, Darren?
I couldn't predict it. Honestly, I haven't got the slightest idea. Usually I go into a game thinking we can beat them. I haven't got a clue. Honestly, I like Bristol. I think they're a good side. I don't know. I couldn't predict it. I wouldn't like to say. I wouldn't put a bet on it, put it that way.
Well,
John?
The problem being as well with Bristol in the top half is the problem all season is beating teams in the top half. We struggled, and off the top of my head, I think Sheffield United the first home game. Other than that, maybe I can't think of another team who we've beat in the top half.
What I'd like to say,
it's one of the reasons why we're not challenging in the top sort of four teams at the moment.
Talking about the run-in, Bristol City at home, Derby away, Millwall at home, finish it off at Portman Road away at Ipswich. Now Derby, up and down a bit like us, I think. Looking at them 4-4, we said on this couch a couple of weeks ago, if we aren't in the playoffs, stay in and around it so we can get our toe back in. Looking at that run-in, Darren, what do you think?
Last time I was on here, I predicted that it would touch and go for the playoffs. And it'll come down to the last game of the season. That's one thing I'm sure about. It will come down to the last game of the season for me, away at Ipswich.
Not a nice place to go, is it?
I'm going to predict that I think we might just fall short at Ipswich.
But
we've got to get behind the team. There's no point whinging about it. We're in a position where we can crack on. So get yourself there Saturday and get the lads cheered on.
That's fantastic, John.
Yeah, reiterate what Darren just said there. 4 cup finals. I know they're all cliches now, but it's a tough run-in. I think it's the winner takes it all. Millwall at home.
I often think with the Borough, it's the team what turns up, isn't it? You know, I mean, like I say, against Forest, I didn't think we'd done that much and put 2 balls in the box and scored. We then go away to, a couple of weeks ago, Burton didn't turn up. We go away to Sheffield United first half, don't turn up. You know, I think Derby are the same. I'd like to think we can get a couple of these. I
think with the crowd, if we can turn up like we did against Brighton last season, who were a better side than us for me. If we get the crowd behind us, we can pull it. We can get the results at home we need, and hopefully we can away from home, definitely without a doubt. But we've got to get behind the team, stop being negative. There's only 4 to go.
Well, hopefully there'll be a big crowd turn up for that one. Couple of new contracts given to a couple of young players this week. I don't know whether you noticed that, seen that in the social media or in the press. One what jumps out, Ainsley Pears. You seen much of him, Darren?
No, I haven't seen much of him, no, I haven't. I've
really
seen
good at a non-league side. Fantastic clean sheets. John, seen much of him?
I've never even read the name. I thought he was a chef on the telly.
Well, he might be able to knock some decent food up.
His dad's got an hand like you, hasn't
he? He's
if he's a goalkeeper with 4 fingers.
Stephen Pears was.
He's a fantastic up-and-coming prospect. There's lots and lots of talk of him at the club. you know, the coming through and playing at the club. We get lots of young players that we farm out and we never hear of again. But this one, you know, they're talking about Ainsley and a couple of lads who've just signed pro contracts this week. So there's a lot to talk about. Just on that, just a couple of things. Obviously, Red Army Travel. Red Army Travel is going down to Derby. We're taking a bus down to Derby. You know how to get in touch with that. You know the phone number and things like that. Guys, we're nearly up. We're nearly out of time. It goes nice and quick. I said about the game at Bristol City the weekend. I just want a quick prediction from you. Quick prediction, Darren.
I'm going to be positive and say 2-0 Borough.
2-0 Borough.
Well, I'd like to see us come flying out the traps. Early goal, settle everybody down and go on to win handsomely. Just want to see a good performance, most importantly a win.
Very quickly, Darren, I've got about 20 seconds.
Yeah.
10 seconds of it. Borough Walkers, you're doing something.
Yeah, Borough Walkers, obviously we're on here, we represent Borough Walkers. It's a charity that represents Teesside charities. We've got 2 big events coming up in May. We have a charity tournament at Gisborough, Maybank all the weekend, kids entertainment, everything on. And then in July, there's a walk from Whitby to Saltburn, which everybody's welcome to. So if they could log on to Borough Walkers Association on Facebook, have a look at that and see if they can help local teams.
And these are the T-shirts.
Excellent, fellas. Thank you very much. We're out of time. Join us next week, Red Army TV. See you then.